Right, hello YouTube. I'm going to go live again because I haven't got time to upload a video. Let me just see if I can swing the camera around here because you might be able to catch up with it. I'm going to entitle this video about this little DeWalt adapter that I've got here. I've been using power packs for absolute ages. So I've got one here in my bag of goodies. Anyway, you get the USB battery packs. Here we are. This is the one that I've been using. And it's really good, but I have dropped it a couple of times and bits have broken off it and whatever. And I had loads of these DeWalt batteries because I use them for my drills and my saws and everything. And I was just searching through the internet and found this one, so it adapts to a DC plug there. That's the micro SD, and then the standard USB port there. But basically, I've been using this today. This was only 16 quid off of Amazon. It's a no make, it's a Chinese generic branded one, but I'll tell you what, from a 4 amp hour battery that I mostly use, I do have 5 amp hour ones. I've done some calculations. I could get 8 charges of my mobile phone, turn off, 8 mobile phone charges out of one battery. So that's going to be an absolute game changer because I'm always charging up cameras or my headphones or whatever. For 16 quid, it's so much better value than buying another one of these battery packs, which I do rely on a lot. I probably have to charge my phone and everything up once a day anyway because I'm always with my headphones on or whatever. Anyway, just had me lunch. Let me swing the camera around. It's all going to be a bit higgledy-piggledy this, but I'm going to just wander down and show you what I've been up to today. This is another mill property that I'm at, although I mean, if you're regular to the channel, you'll probably recognise this garden here. I've just been working through one of these areas. They've got a party here over the weekend for the coronation. I'm just tidying up a few areas which get a little bit sort of forgotten about really, because they're going to have a lot of people sort of wandering around. Let's swing the camera around and I'll show you what I've been up to. Oh, we've got some comments coming through. Hello everybody. Nice to see you all. I hope the quality of this picture comes out really well. I upgraded my mobile phone this week. I haven't done it for probably about 3 years, and I've got one of these Google Pixel 7s, and I have to say I'm quite impressed with it, although there's a swiper on the screen where you have to swipe to go backwards instead of a back button, so I keep pissing off out of the screen bit and I'm just like, oh, it's so frustrating. But anyway, coming through all of these grass areas, and if anyone's ever had to deal with these things, I mean, the ants that keep coming up all through them is a real, I mean, look at these ants nests in here, absolute clonkers. And these are red ants as well, so they're the nippy little buggers, those ones. But I've trimmed all up through here and gradually working my way through these borders, and there's hogweed and things that are coming up through here, and the nettles. I was just listening to a podcast. It's the Talking Heads. I'd really recommend it for the botanical gardeners out there, the Talking Heads podcast. And interestingly, I had the same conversation with a client on Tuesday that I was saying we're probably about 2 weeks behind in seasons because the winter just seems to have dragged on so much. It's just been absolutely ridiculous. I mean, today it's unbelievable because it's been jumper on, t-shirts, getting hot when the sun is out and on your back. And in fact, I might have to switch my trousers over to my lighter summer ones because it's getting a bit much today. But they were saying the same. They were down at the Bewley, the Motor Museum, and they've got some gorgeous gardens there. I've been quite a few times, and I'd highly recommend it if anyone's down in Hampshire way. I mean, I like my motors anyway, but the gardens down there are absolutely gorgeous. But they were saying also that they reckon they're about 2-3 weeks behind as well. It'd be interesting to sort of pinpoint all around the garden, all around where people are, to know. So Jason, if you're still watching, it'd be nice to know in Norfolk how far behind you think you are as well. I think we're probably about 2 weeks behind. I mean, the client that I was talking to, they're on the North Downs, and they're a lot higher, so the altitude, they're generally about a week to a week and a half different climates anyway. But the things like the lima trees, which I've done videos on before, they've not even come into, they've not got even really any sort of representable buds yet. And also things like my willow fedge at home, I've been worrying about that. It couldn't have died because of the wet winter we've had. About 3 weeks, you reckon, as well. So yeah, I mean, it really does go to show that it's concerning, really. So anyway, I was chatting away to another old farmer, and bloody great big wasp there. Actually, there's a couple. Let's see if I can get them in. Chatting away to an old farmer type, and he was saying, there he goes. He was saying, I reckon there's probably going to be a nest around here, that we're probably going to be in. I'm going to do a little walk around the garden while we're here. I'll try and keep the camera steady. We're probably going to have a very short, sharp winter. It's going to, summer. It's going to be very hot for a period, and then it will get unbearable, and then we'll go back to what we're supposed to be. You know, we're going to go back through to another winter, and I quite believe it. This bit of the garden I'm walking through here, if you haven't recognised the garden, I'll just come up the steps here. This was part of the old swelling pond for the carts. There's nothing in this garden, so the old wagon wheels would come down here and get their wooden wheels wet, and they would swell. Anyway, all of the stone walls from around here have been built from the cobble, so any digging that you do, especially going up here through the fruit trees, I mean these up here, some of them haven't even got blossom on them yet. Everything's just so, but I mean, I've got to go through all these borders here. Some of this I won't worry about today because we've got bloody daffs in here. I hate daffs. I mean, they're nice when they're out, but then you got all this to put up with for so long. I'll probably just go through here and do a top trim, try and get the flower heads off before they can sort of sow through. But the blossom on here is only just coming through on some of these, and at home my Devil's Fork apple tree that I've got, that's full bloom. You know, that's been going for about, I don't know, a week and a half now, and that's only 20 minutes down the road. Anyway, I'll just show you this bit. We actually had, I'll try and keep this a bit short, we had some wind here the other week, but I'm just going to go down through this berberis, probably hurt myself a little bit. I want to show you this wall that come down, and got all this hazel and everything coming back through. I just want to show this old wall that come down here, and look, the old fish paste bottles. Now I took a whole load of these out of the wall, and I've got some in my summer house at home, but they've literally just backfilled. I don't want to pour that too much, but there's ink wells in here and all sorts. But there was also bits of I'll try and get back out here. There was bits of a cast iron, God, this isn't elegant, is it? Cast iron bread oven, which I've actually chucked down into the old oast house, which was here. And when I was talking to the client about it, because I got rid of some of the big debris, I don't think I'm going to find it. When I was talking to the client about it, they were saying that that bit up there was a bread kitchen up there. So I mean, I can't find it here now, but I absolutely love the history to these old places. That's part of the real joy of everything. But when you're trying to dig in any of these borders, because it's full of so much flint and bits of pottery and everything, yeah, it's a joy to find it. But bugger me, you know, you've worked, you know, you try and dig anything, especially, I mean, this is a good time. We've had the rain, so the ground is pretty workable. But when it comes to summer, especially we have another summer like we have done, yeah, you certainly work for it today. Anyway, let's have a quick little pan over this, and I'll tell you about this area. This was done for the Queen's Jubilee. I believe. So you can't really see from here, but up the back there, go into focus please, ignore my hand. So up the back, oh, bugger. Up the back there, you're going to have to take my word for it. There's a row of hibiscus, which all go around the back, and they're the jewels. And then these bits come down here are for the crown, and so on and so forth. This was a diamond, but this Buxus has really suffered with this winter. We've got a lot of dead through here. Now, I thought originally it might have been something like, well, it's not blight because it happened after the snow, and I think it's just purely where the weight of the snow has done it no favours. So what I'm going to do next year is actually I'm going to cut these to more of a point, and because it's in the same place all the way through. If it was blight or if it was caterpillar, these would be affected as well, I'm sure. Correct me if I'm wrong, but so we're going to cut these into a bit of a point, so if we do get the snow, we can, well, hopefully it will naturally just fall off. That's one of the things for next year. I've also been tasked to come up with some ideas for the upcoming, coronation, because they like to do different themes within the garden. So I've got to come up with some coronation ideas, and I was thinking in another part of the garden here, going along with the Royal Air Force colours and doing something, because I know Charles was in the Air Force, so I'm going to try and put together a planting plan or something. We've got an area up there which is full of daffs. I love dahlias, so might be able to try and convince. Thank you, Jason. Yeah, it is a really interesting garden. It's got some beautiful history to it. I might come up with some ideas for try and get some dahlias into the garden, and what we got going on here? Get some dahlias into the garden, but then it's creating more work for myself. We haven't got. Actually, I'll tell you what. I was just spinning around. I was saying we haven't got a greenhouse in this garden. We haven't got a composting heap. Although I have acquired. I'm going to show you the ugly zones. We have acquired, or I have acquired some, what do they call this stuff? Corrugated iron. I've got that, and this was something I just wanted to do over the winter, but I didn't have time. I'm going to build some beds there. There is a concrete slab underneath, so that would be ideal, although I'm not sure about the acidity from the drop. I'll have to cut back the conifers first. Ignore the bonfire, that's just getting bigger and bigger. That will probably wait till next year now. But saying we don't have a greenhouse, we do. I say the royal we. Every garden when I'm working at them is mine. That's an old pig shelter hidden away in there. But come down this end, I'm going to wrap it up quickly, because imagine everybody wants to get back to being stung and bitten by Mother Nature. If we come down here, dodging a random pile of grass cuttings, which I'm not responsible for the grass. There's there's the greenhouse. Yeah, so that's pretty much past. Well, that's well past its. Oh, bugger. Well past. You never see David Attenborough going in. Here we are. Oh, fuck, I got jabbed by something. I'll just swing this round, wrap it up. There is the other end of the higher garden up there, but this is where they're having the marquees for the party. So I spent the last couple of weeks doing these borders, shaping up. See, again, like the laurel back there, that's only just getting some flowers on it back there, and yet the euphorbia. I mean, you're either a fan of the African milk bush or not, but I personally, how could you not love those little eyeballs looking at you wherever you go? I've never been affected by the sap in there. Hi Carl, what we've got there. Thanks for showing us around. Cheers pal. Sorry I haven't responded to a couple of your last comments. I'm really behind with watching other people, and with the Glastonbury thing coming up as well. I've just been so busy, but I thought a couple of these little vlogs, people can have a choose to watch them or not. But anyway, I'm going to wrap it up there. Thank you very much for watching, and it's reassuring to know that other gardens are so behind as well. Not not necessarily behind with our work, but behind with Mother Nature. We're due rain for the next 3 days actually. So after a couple of hot days like this, if you're into the grass cutting, I mean I've only got the 2 now, but I imagine that's in full swing if you can, if you know that's what you're into. But anyway, I'm rambling now. Thank you very much, and we'll catch up soon. Cheers.